is my audience. Hi, I'm Isabella Graham, and this is my informative speech for my public speaking class. Okay. Did you know that 790 million individuals globally do not have access to clean water? According to World Serve International, women and children have to spend around 200 million hours a day collecting contaminated water. Because of this unclean water, this can lead to up to 2,000 child deaths per day. These individuals, the women and children, walk miles and miles for something that could eventually kill them. Building water wells is something people have dedicated their lives to doing, but we ask the question, why is that? And how are these wells made and funded? And how do they impact the communities? My first point is talking about the water crisis that is happening in Africa. First off, most people don't realize how big of an issue this is. According to World Water Day, 1 in 3 Africans are affected by water scarcity, which leads to 411 million people in Africa who lack the basic water drinking services. Many people don't know this because it is rarely talked about, and because it is rarely talked about, it is something that is rarely thought about. Because we are just so wrapped up in our own worlds and our own lives today that we hardly think about the lives of others and what they're lacking. And a lot of us, we can't ask the question, that we don't know that women and children walk an average of 3.7 miles a day carrying 5-gallon jugs of contaminated water when we only have to walk 10 feet to our fridge just to get clean water. That's something that I don't think a lot of us think about and a lot of us don't know about because, again, we just don't have, we have clean water. We aren't lacking any of those necessities or anything. So it's something that we just don't think about, which can be heartbreaking. Another thing is that this, because of the unclean water, it can have a huge effect on society and the health. According to the World Health Organization, 1.8 million people who live in Africa and globally use drinking water that is contaminated by feces and they don't even know it. And this can transmit a bunch of diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, typhoid, and polio, which causes up to 502,000 deaths per year. Again, something that we just don't think about because we have access to clean water and we aren't having those deaths as other places in the world are. My second point is what are the role of the water wells and how can we help support that? So building water wells is different for every organization, but I'm going to be focusing on World Serve International's organization and their process to building the water wells. So water wells are a very sustainable resource for the people in need and for getting water. And this is because water wells are sourced from underground aquifers that flow between sediment and rock layers, which helps provide a constant supply for clean water when other sources either just don't have that and they still provide not necessarily contaminated water but still dirty water. But as water wells, they can provide better source for clean water. The water wells also help everyday people, and it's not just the organization that is providing for that, it's also us who are providing for that. World Serve's process for getting their water wells sourced. First, they have to look at the certain site and they look at different sources and different things they need. So some of these things include critical needs, safe access, data support, and community engagement. They look at 4 of those things and they make sure that where they're putting the water wells, that those places have all those things and that they meet that criteria. And then for building the water wells, it comes in 2 parts. The first part is they look at the drilling cost and how much it's going to be, which equals out to around $25,000. And then the second part of that is looking at the distribution fitting costs. So just getting all the things there, the tools, everything like that. And that also costs around $25,000, which is a total of $50,000 for one single well. And these are something that we can do to help provide those is we can give back toward the cost of these wells by supporting them and by giving our money to them, or by just doing other like organizations or fundraisers or anything like that, because $50,000 for one water well is really expensive and something that obviously we need and obviously is good to have. My third point is the impact that these water wells have had on the communities. So apart from just healing and diseases and all that stuff, these wells have improved the villages so much. A local villager has said that there has been dramatic improvement in health, school attendance, and overall well-being because it has greatly impacted health. There's a better chance of children going to school and a better chance of overall kids just being lively and active again. Another improvement is that the women and children don't have to walk miles upon miles just to get clean water. They can walk over to their water well and they are able to get clean water from that, which is very good again. Another thing that these water wells have doing, like I mentioned, is it has reduced the risk of diseases and sicknesses being spread, like cholera and typhoid. This is very, very good, again, because that leads to lower deaths and it leads to just, again, better overall well-being and health. Another resource that I found states that the wells bring clean, healthy, and reliable water for communities with as many as 3,000 people. Again, these wells aren't just affecting one community and one village, they are affecting villages across Africa. And they can just encourage lives, and that they can just help, again, the overall being of all these people. For my conclusion, people across Africa are suffering from not having clean water. Again, this is something that is not looked at all, but with understanding the water crisis, understanding the role of these wells and the impact on the community that they have, we can help save the women and children from walking miles upon miles. We can help improve their health, and we can just help reduce the risk of spreading diseases. Wells change people, and they continue to do so every single day. And I think this topic is important for people to know, because I don't think a lot of people realize, again, the struggle that people go through, just because we don't struggle with that as well. Thank you.